Hey, so we Scope here, and I'm now joined on Zoom with the lovely Venus girls. How are you guys? You good?
Hi, yeah, we're good. How are you?
Good, not bad, not bad. How's the lockdown 3 treating you guys? How's it been?
Oh, it's going. It's, it's fine. Like, obviously I can only speak for myself, but it's just bizarre. Like, with release day being today, we'd usually be probably in like a rehearsal room right now, gearing up for a big launch show tonight. So it is a bit bittersweet today, that it's a very different type of release day to anything we've ever experienced before. So
Yeah, it was weird last night because we went on Discord and had a little like listening party with a couple of like our friends. And it was just like it came out at midnight and then we just like streamed it and we are like, yeah, it's all up. You know what? Like,
there was no like, oh, I'll see you tomorrow night at the gig. There was none of that, so it's like it's bizarre that, this is happening right now. But we're all very grateful that we found a window months ago during summer to get something recorded. So we're really grateful that we've been able to get something out. It's good it was good to have something to look forward to, for sure.
Absolutely, because I was just saying to Grace, I mean, your social media has just blown up. It's just absolutely on fire at the moment. Everyone's commenting and you're getting loads of shares from BBC Introducing and loads of blogs and things as well. So it must feel so good. Because sometimes when you release on lockdown, it's always that anticipation of how something's going to go, isn't it? But when you have that support online, it's brilliant. So it must be such a good feeling to have all that feedback for you.
Yeah, we can't thank the BBC Introducing teams at Teesside. I always get the Free Counties one.
Them
two, like especially because I'm from like the Teesside area and Grace and Jess are from down
south
Counties area. And like just the amount of support they've given us, like just ever since we started uploading, us, to be fair, like it's just so nice to see.
Yeah, it's really like, really heartwarming, especially because Teesside gave our song to Suffolk, BBC Introducing Suffolk, and they gave it a spin for us the other day as well. So it's really nice to that was totally unexpected. Like, we thought it was an error because we had an email like BBC Introducing and Suffolk have just played your track, and we were like, what?
Are you sure?
And we were like, oh, it must have just like been a system error, but it was totally right. Like, they had it was really nice to know that other introducings are picking it up as well. So
yeah, I think it's just so heartwarming as well because it's like our hometowns, like we're not even based there, and it's our hometowns who are picking us up and supporting us the most, which is just incredible.
Yeah, it's nice. And the fact it spreads around the UK, because that's exactly what you want, don't you? You want like everyone to hear it in all corners that they can, which because it is such an empowering song. I mean, for me, as someone that didn't really fit in at school, I really, really related to it, and I felt like it had that really lovely empowerment in there that was so relatable. And it's so lovely, and it's got that kind of like spirituality undertones to it as well, which I really, really liked. Was it quite an organic song? Did it come out quite like, flow out quite nicely?
Yeah, I mean, it did. I mean, it would have come out a lot sooner if the pandemic hadn't been a thing. I mean, the song itself we wrote quite a while ago, but we were only able to record it in August, and we did originally want to release it last year, but we couldn't get the logistics right. We needed things done, and we could, it just wasn't going to work with Christmas and everything. But yeah, it came about quite organically. I mean, it came about when it was on our last tour, which was right at the end of 2019. I got really sick with laryngitis, and we ended up having to cancel one of our shows, which like I absolutely despise. I hate it. It's always me that gets sick. It's always me. And I was really like resentful toward myself, even though like what could I do? I had laryngitis, but like I was just I hate not playing shows. Like, it really, really, really bums me out. Anyway, and I just thought, well, if I can't play a show, I'm going to try and do something productive. So I just kind of got my laptop out and started playing around with some chords, like, albeit I couldn't sing, but, I started kind of just mapping a new song out, and the lyrics just kind of fell out of me, really. They just kind of happened. And I kind of maybe got half to 3/4 of the song done, and then I sent it to the girls, and they were like, oh, this is really cool. So when I was better and we got back into a rehearsal room, we started, obviously the girls changed their parts and made them 1,000 times better, and and added their stamp onto it, and we finished the song. And then when we went in to record it, we refined it even further, changed some things around and whatnot. And yeah, and then the song is as it is. I mean, it isn't that drastically different to the original demo. Obviously it's, you know, heaps and bounds better in quality, but in terms of the actual song itself, it's very similar. So yeah, it was really, really nice to kind of, it just kind of happened. It wasn't like a conscious thing. Like when I write lyrics, a lot of the time I figure out what they're about after. So I find it quite hard to write like sit down and say, I'm going to write a song about this. Like it's not always as like conscious as that. I think, you know, without sounding too cringy, a lot of my lyrics come from, I think, my unconscious. So it's really nice to kind of figure them out after, and it made me realize it was totally a reflection of my own experiences when I was in school, and you know, channeling the girls' experiences that they told me and we'd opened up to each other about, and things like that. So I think it definitely is a bit of an ode to our younger selves, you know, and what we went through, as you said, you know, you not really fitting in at school yourself. That's kind of what it's about, really.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing about lyrics, they're so subjective, aren't they, that, you know, sometimes you do pen a song and actually to somebody else it means something completely different anyway. So it's how you kind of pick it up and things. But I think people that are going through school now and people that have been through school, I think it's just a song that's just going to relate to so many people, and I'm sure it's going to get them through, especially during lockdown when everything is a bit down. We need that bit of empowering and building ourselves up in a song, and that's exactly what you guys have done. So, you know, it's great.
I'm glad that's come across. That's really good to hear. Thank you.
Absolutely. And you did a little teaser for the video as well, which looks like it's got a bit of a spirituality theme in there, little cheeky little tarot cards in there. Is that something that's going to come out quite soon?
Yeah, we're planning on releasing it next Friday, Friday the 29th, I believe. It's interesting, like, you're picking up on the spirituality, just because, especially for me personally, that's something I've always been spiritual and interested in philosophy, religion, but especially the past year in lockdown, I've really been able to like educate myself a lot more and really understand like what like my values and things are, like, and ethics. And when we've managed to like meet up as a band, we've been really like open about it, and I've like shared what I've found and they've shared what they found. It's like, that's when we were kind of, because we directed the music video in Declan Creffield, filmed and edited it. That's something that we really wanted to kind of get across in the video, sort of things that we do together. Like, I've been reading loads about sort of like pre-Christianity, like women and things like that with the red tents, and just as well, just like the art and active tarot reading, how it can really help people's well-being and just like see you through like some really difficult periods, or if you're just stuck, or if you just want something as well, like to uplift you during a difficult time, just like, I guess, seeking advice. And we all kind of like sit together when we're with each other working, and you know, that's kind of a good way for us to like just understand what's going on with ourselves, and also just helps us just open up and advise one another if we're going through a difficult period too. It's something that I always sort of like share with my friends. I'm always like, do you want to do like a tarot reading? Like, when they just don't know what to do, I'm like, sit down, like I'll get my candles on. Like,
it really helps, like, because, you know, I think people have a very misinformed understanding of what that sort of stuff is. Obviously not everyone will, but I think, you know, a lot of people will. In my own experience, they have. And I think people say, oh, I don't believe in all that, that's all rubbish. And it's like, people think that tarot readings can like tell the future. It's not what it's about. Tarot reading is all about self-reflection, and doing those tarot readings, it allows you to kind of reflect on things that you may not have reflected on had you not done the tarot reading, and things like that. And it's just really good to kind of help you heal from things, to help you understand things better. It just kind of, you know, guides you, at least for me and for a lot of the girls in the band as well. Like, it very much helps us to kind of understand ourselves, as Grace said, you know. So it's something we've begun to do together, and you know, we were very cautious of, we didn't want that to come across as like a gimmick in the video. It's a very organic and true thing, that what goes on in our lives as well, you know, and we wanted that to come across on camera, but we were also really cautious that we didn't want it to kind of be a gimmick, because it isn't, you know, it isn't a gimmick. And it's something that's incredibly important to us as a band.
Yeah, and I mean, like you were saying about the self-reflection, I mean, it's a great way to self-reflect. I mean, as a time, this is the time to self-reflect, because you're in your own head all the time, aren't you? So it's to have that outlet where you can do that, and, you know, and get something from it as well. I think that's really, really nice. And you know, and a lot of people will relate to that as well in the video. I think there's a lot of people that do follow it, so I think that'll be brilliant. And
yeah,
it's a personal place.
It's interesting just like going online now, especially in the lockdown. I've noticed a lot more communities popping up and doing like online tarot readings and things, and this sort of like just community that's popping up online of people just helping one another, and like just it's, I don't know, it's just really nice to see.
Absolutely, great. Because I mean, your video for You're Right, I guess, I mean, the video for that had a really nice sense of community, because it was lockdown vibes at its best, and I love that. Was that quite a nice video to edit, like bringing everyone together and all their little clips and things? I think it was really fun.
Yeah, definitely. Like, we had so many submissions to our Google Drive, and it was like so nice receiving all of them and like seeing everyone like getting down to our song.
Yeah, it's what you want.
Like in their own homes. Like, it was so nice. It was so wholesome.
It was just interesting as well to see where they were recording from as well. So I think one of our friends, Nadia, was in Spain. I think she might still be in Spain, and people in like London, Northeast, just like all over. It was really nice to see everyone virtually in lockdown and make something out of it as well, like make a video.
Because we are grooving behind the scenes, we just don't see it. So we need these videos to show us this is what we do in our rooms, because I've done it.
Bit of interpretive dance. That's another good thing when you're feeling down. Just like put a track on and just let your body move.
Your own thing. That's it. Yeah. That's what mirrors are for. So it's all good. But you did a lovely kind of live session of Wicked Things as well, and you've had all of your wonderful tracks in there. I really like that, because of the track Amy is a really nice moment in that, because it's a bit more stripped back to what we're used to from you guys. I mean, that must be kind of like a nice part of your set as well, to have those moments. Do you play Amy live as well?
Oh yeah, it's definitely one that goes down really well live usually. It is, you're right, it's a nice kind of break in the middle. I mean, because we want it to come across that we can be versatile in the way that we play, you know, and we're not kind of, we don't just want to kind of be like, you know, blah all the time. and we want it to kind of be a break and like almost like a reset of, you know, of an important message as well, because Amy's all about mental health and kind of encouragement of opening up and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely an important song for all of us, I think.
Yeah, and you can see how all you're glued as a band, because I think the Riot Girls movement is a big part of what kind of glued you guys together, wasn't it? I think Rebel Girl by Bikini Kills, I mean, that was kind of like a big song for you guys, wasn't it? So is that how you kind of all met? Was it through like the love of music?
Yeah, like it was just a case of meeting at uni, really. Like, GK wanted to make an all-girl band and reached out on social media, and this is who she ended up with.
Yeah.
And we went in for that first rehearsal, and it was just like pure awkward, because we were trying to write original material like straight off the bat, and it just wasn't really happening. And it was your idea, wasn't it, Grace, to cover Bikini Kill?
Yes.
And you were like, I think we should just have a go at playing this song. And as soon as we played it, everyone was like, oh, like, this is where it's gonna go. And it totally just like pushed us to be able to like play together. We just needed that like moment of,
I think it just reaffirmed or at least confirmed in our heads that there was something there, because I think up until that point it was all very like sporadic and it was all very strange. Like, we all came from completely different musical backgrounds and stuff, so it was just like trying to piece together a puzzle that just didn't fit at first. And then I kind of just had like a light bulb moment. I was like, why are we trying to write original material and we barely know each other? Like, how is that gonna work? Yeah, you know, we don't even know how each other play. We don't know how it was just so new that I kind of was like, why did I think this would work at first, you know? So yeah, playing the cover, as Jess said, it was like this is what it's about. This is what we can do. We all work in this area. We all overlap in this area, you know? So, and it went from there. Like, we started out really punky and kind of very, very, very Riot Girl, but it's kind of just gradually developed. And Riot Girl is like obviously are going to be at the centerpiece of what we do, but I think musically and sonically, at least, where we've kind of strayed away from that sound now, and we're much more, I think, just alternative rock, and you know, with the use of a lot of synth and stuff as well. So yeah, it's very like at the heart of our attitude and our approach to music, but I think sonically it's changed since then.
It's interesting you were talking about that, because the original track that we first tried to write together, we actually revisited, didn't we? Well, you two did, Jess and Jekin. They performed it at
My recital,
uni.
Wow.
It's been in my head recently for some reason, especially like the breakdown.
Yeah, it was, funnily enough, how, you know, Jess said the first rehearsal was really awkward. The song is called Awkward.
Oh, amazing.
The song is called Awkward. And,
oh my God, I never thought about that before.
Yeah, me neither, to be honest.
Liminal.
It was a song that I had written, and it was the complete wrong vibe for what we were trying to do. But for my final performance at uni, obviously I played with Venus for my final performance at uni, and we did it stripped back, just Jess and I just did it, and that's what it was. It was definitely a stripped back kind of, you know, acoustic-y sort of vibe. It wasn't like a song that was supposed to be heavy. And yeah, it was really strange performing it, you know, with the same people that it had gone so horribly wrong with before, you know. So but it was, yeah, it's just a nice little acoustic song. I completely forgot it existed, to be honest.
Same.
In my head recently, I don't know why. I've just been.
I can't even remember how to play it.
It was really weird chords, wasn't it? And I didn't know the names of any of the chords either. So I was like, it's this date. It's
yeah.
date.
I can remember it sounded quite Oasis-y, the chords, because I know that you used to listen to a lot of Oasis.
I think it actually, the first three chords are actually in the song Supersonic by Oasis, in a different order, I think, anyway.
I think every band has those songs that they think, oh wow, we wrote that a while ago, remember that one? And but it's kind of like the core of what you do, and it's how you kind of connect as a band, and I think that's really nice. You need those songs, don't you, to start you off and to get
absolutely
in with everything. But you've done some great shows as well. I mean, you've played with the likes of Antaras, All Time Low, and you've done Blocks as well, and of course you must be buzzing to get back out there and playing for yourselves as well, and getting Goth Girl spread around. I'm sure it's going to go down so well live as well. You must be looking forward to that.
Absolutely. We've only actually played it live like twice, I think. Our last show was in February, I think.
And it was different. It was different to how the track sounds now, because we hadn't been in the studio yet, and like we developed the song a little bit further in the studio and like chopped and changed a few bits, and so yeah, we performed it in its like original state.
Very early.
Wow.
But
we haven't performed it the way it is now, so it's really exciting, like the prospect of doing that at some point.
Yeah, please,
whenever that is.
Yeah. So what is next for you guys then? What is have you got some more music under your belts that you're looking to release later this year as well?
Yeah, so obviously with the lockdown, things are all a bit up in the air at the moment. We were supposed to be in the studio 2 days ago, but obviously that's not happened now because of lockdown. So we're hoping to get back in March, April time.
Yes.
As soon as it's safe. Obviously that's subject to change again, like we don't know what's going to happen. But we do have a lot under our belt for stuff that we want to release, but it's just a case of when. So we had a whole plan, we had everything planned out, and then lockdown 3 happened and we were like, oh.
Yeah, not again.
Not again. Oh, guys. Oh, well, thank you so much for chatting to me, guys. Honestly, Goth Girl has been in my head since I listened to it last week, and it's probably not going to leave anytime soon. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. And best of luck for the rest of the year, and hopefully you can get out and play some live shows. Fingers and toes crossed.
Oh, thanks so much.
Absolutely.